let's say, for instance, you may have a loved one that eventually may have to go to a long-term care facility as in a nursing home. And many of you guys are building up assets in this particular community. And guess what's going to happen? If you have a family member, if you have a parent that has to go to a nursing facility or long-term care planning, right? Guess what Medicaid is not going to do? Medicaid is not going to pay for your representative or that family member until they exhaust all of their assets, that money in their 401k accounts. If they got a house and if it's assets, right? They're gonna make you exhaust all your assets before Medicaid come and kick in and take care of your particular family member, whether it's a parent, a grandparent, or things of that nature. So here's where the trust come in place. If you have your house in the trust, guess what? You don't own your house no more. Guess who owned the house? The trust owns the house. So now when you go and with the Medicaid, right? They have something, I want you guys to write this down. They call it 5-year look back. As long as those assets are in that trust for 5 years, then guess what? They can go and touch them assets if you have a relative or a family member has to go to a long-term care planning because the trust owns the assets, not you. That's why we got to be able to say we have everything but don't own nothing. When you own stuff and then you transfer it into a trust, you still oversee it, but now the trust owns it. And everything in that trust, you don't written out who you want to go to in the event you pass away. But while that house is in the trust, you're still the primary trustee while you live in. That's the most important aspect. You're still the primary trustee of that particular trust while you're living. But the date upon your death, then in that trust, you have written who will be your trustee on the date upon your death. And if that particular person passed away, you establish who your secondary trustee would be. We got to be in a position, though, guys, where we got to be smart and we got to move smart. Because guess what? If we can go to school and we can get a 4-year degree, if we can go to school and we can get a master's degree, if we can go to school and get a PhD degree, we darn sure can get financial educated here in the Let's Win financial community and get a PhD in our financial education of our own corporation, which is our own finances in itself. That's the most important piece. That's the most important piece. And a lot of times we think, okay, sure, when these trusts cost, they start in 2000, they start at $2,500. You're going to go spend that anyways. And somewhere else, why not protect your own assets? Why not protect your own corporation? That's the most important piece. Because every day we can wake up and we go to work, but we want to be able to protect what you're working so hard for, which is your hard earned dollars. All right?